In this screencast, we'll focus on adding content pages. We'll show you how to navigate through your content pages and introduce you to the different templates available for your Real Geeks website. Lastly, we'll learn how to add a default content page template with a search field at the top as we build a Sell Your Home page together. So let's get started. While logged in to the back end of your site administration page, you can click on the Content Pages link here. Now, here you can see where all your content pages are housed. There are a few ways to look at this list of pages. Here, it's organized by the slug, which is the actual text in the latter part of the URL. But you can also organize the list by the anchor text or page name in this column here. Now, in the table to the right, you can filter the content pages by template as follows. You can click through each template type and it will refresh the list to include only those that apply to the template selection. If you'd like to apply a quick action to any of the content pages from the list, you can do so by ticking the specific box, go to the drop-down menu, and select the action you'd like to apply to it. For example, with the current selection here, you can delete the page or convert it to an agent landing page. Though keep in mind, once confirmed, neither of these tasks can be undone. Agent landing pages are a way for you to create landing pages that your agents can use to drive traffic to and bypass any round-robin lead assignment rules and have the leads go directly to that agent. There will be a video on agent landing pages. You have all the same template styles that are available on content pages, but like I said, you're able to choose the agents you want the leads to go to for that specific page in the Agent Landing Pages section. You can find out more about this on our docs page at docs.realgeeks.com. So if you have many content pages to sort through, you can search for a specific page by entering it in the search field above like this. But since we're adding a content page, let's clear this search and click the button here that says Add Content Page. So here we have our standard editor outlining all parts of the content page. But before filling out these fields, I'm going to walk you through the various content page templates we offer to better choose what's right for you and your particular content type. If you're already familiar with our templates and would like to skip ahead, please go to 10 minutes and 49 seconds to learn about adding a default with search form page. So the first option to choose from is our default with search template. We highly recommend using this template for most content pages because the point is to get the user to search and capture that information. In the example shown here, I've created a page for users who are looking to sell their homes. Chances are that if they're selling, a lot of sellers start by searching for homes in the area they're looking for. So here you see our landscape image with the search form. For this particular page, I've specified the neighborhood of Kailua while leaving all other options open. If the user scrolls down, they'll see much more content. In addition, I've added the home valuation widget to the body of the content so they can see it below whatever information you put about how you sell your homes or market data. So the user can put in their address to get an estimated valuation of their home, and you, as an agent, will get an alert that the potential seller entered their address to get a home valuation. In addition, you can always design your page to include detailed content of text, images, links, and embedded videos. You can also pull in whatever custom sidebar you want on every page, as well as featured listings below that further relate to your page. So the next option we have here is our default without search template. This is a content page with no property search form over the big landscape image. This works well in instances where you might want to create a simple page with an image and no search and content below. In the example shown here, I've used it to design a simple page. I was able to override the default landscape image with a custom image of my choice, so as to differentiate this page from others on my site. And again, below the landscape image, you can design your page to include detailed content of text, images, links, and embedded videos. And remember, you can pull in whatever custom sidebar you want on every page. I've also added featured listings below that further relate to the page I'm making. Next, we have the option of using the foreclosures page template. With this template, the search form has been customized to show only foreclosure results. So whatever content they search will be only foreclosures. And again, below the landscape image and search box, you can design your page to include detailed content of text, images, links, and embedded videos. And remember, you can pull in whatever custom sidebar you want on every page. And once again, I've added featured listings below that further relate to the page I'm making. So next we have our featured property page template. A featured property page is a page that you can create within your website to display properties of your choice. You can briefly describe the overview of the page in the content area by writing customized copy. It's really important to understand that with the featured property template, you have the ability to pull in properties like any other page. But rather than displaying a limited amount of properties on just one page, you actually pull in all properties available for that search query. Meaning, if there's 100 properties and you set the number to 10, you will see 10 properties per page, and you will have 10 pages that are paginated. Whereas on all other page types, if you set the number to 10, you will only have 10 properties on the page. In the example I have here, I've set my search parameters to properties located on Oahu only. I've configured my settings to show 25 featured properties per page. If you look closely, you'll see that the listings paginate the results on the front end, with up to 100 pages shown of various properties that fit my search. So next on the list, we have our sold page template. This is used in situations where you want to feature specialized content that has an included quick search form built to look at sold properties only. Again, below the landscape image and search box, you can design your page to include detailed content of text, images, links, embedded videos. And again, you can also pull in whatever custom sidebar you want on every page. Once more, I've added featured listings below that further relate to the page I'm making. So next we have our blank page template. This is exactly as you can imagine. It's a white page with no search, landscape image, or sidebars. This is best if you want to get creative and you know a little HTML. However, keep in mind that you're adding content at your own will with this one. Next, we have the About page template. This is typically used to showcase your company. If you scroll down on the back end, you'll notice the extra fields that populate in addition to the content section, like this one here, reserved strictly for testimonials. So here we have our About page. We have our landscape image without a search form. Below that, we have content like a group photo of our agents, followed by a Meet the Team section with headshots and names that link to each member's individual agent detail page, which we'll discuss next. Keep in mind, if you are using the About page template style, it will automatically pull in any agents that you've created in the agent detail page. If for some reason you want to create an About page and you don't want to pull in agents automatically based on the agent detail styles, then we highly recommend creating an About page using either of our default with search or default without search page templates. Lastly, we have agent detail page templates. These pages are built to display specific details of an agent with a custom tailored biography in the main content area. If you scroll down on the back end, you'll notice the extra fields in addition to the content section, like these here, reserved for the agent's address, company, email, fax number, cell phone number, name, and testimonials. Keep in mind that after creating an agent detail page, the agent's name and photo automatically populate the About page we discussed earlier. So here we have our agent detail page for a particular agent named Jesse Adams. Unlike most of our other pages, there is no landscape image. The page goes straight into the content with the agent's portrait, contact info, details, testimonials, and experiences too. There's a quick property search on the side, followed by featured listings. In this case, the search has specified condos. If you want any leads that go directly to this page, you should be creating these in the Agent Landing Pages section instead of the Content section of your backend. So now that you've familiarized yourself with the templates available, let's use the Default with Search template to create a page about selling your home. Now, at the top of your page, we have the option of adding a parent. What you add here will be used in the URL of the page. This is an organizational feature and can help you lay out your content pages if you have a large number of them. For example, you could create a parent that represents a specific topic and build out your content pages for subjects that fall under it. Again, this is purely organizational and not terribly used in most cases. I'm going to skip this option, but if you do elect to use a parent for your content pages, be sure to include this when linking to the content page. Next, we have the title, which will outline what the page is about. Most of the time, Google will use this as the text that is displayed when linking to your site in search engine results. As search engine practices evolve, we find that this is used less often, and the text that it's linked to is determined by the search engines themselves. That said, it is still useful in providing context on what this page is about. So let's go ahead with Selling Your Home with Hawaii Realty International. Then, the description needs to include details that tell the user what it's about. You want that to show up as something attractive to click on as well, since this is the snippet that Google will usually use. So let's go ahead with Sell Your Home with us and net thousands more in your pocket. Next, we have the meta keywords. This is where you can put keywords in of what your page is about. Search engines once used this field to help rank sites on search result pages. This is no longer the case, but again, there is still value in providing additional context on what the page is about and may have additional meaning for social media sites. Next is our anchor text. This helps create the slug, which you'll use for linking to the website. Now, the slug is the actual text in the URL and is auto-generated from the anchor text field. Please note that uppercase characters are converted to lowercase and spaces are converted to dashes. Next, we have the page content. From the template drop-down menu, we'll begin by selecting Default with Search. The next item on the page is Content. This is where you'll add the body of the content of your page. It's very important that you not use any duplicate content or copy someone else's website like Google or Wikipedia. You need to uniquely write it. Copying content is only going to hurt you in the rankings because Google will know that the other site that had the content first is the authoritative site, and you're never going to get ranked because you'll be read as a duplicate or copycat. So if you're going to copy content from an old site or another document and not write it freeform into this section, then you need to make sure that you copy it and paste it not just straight from a Word document, because Word adds its own code into these editors. So if you're using a PC, you want to use Notepad. Or if you're using a Mac like I am, you'll want to use TextEdit. I already have text here that I've copied and I want to convert from rich text to plain text. This is done by going up to the Format window and selecting the Make Plain Text option in the drop-down menu. After converting your text to a plain text format, you'll want to copy your text, return to your main browser where your page editor is, and paste the text into your content section. Here, you can highlight your headers one at a time and select the correct formatting options that suit your style as follows. Now, let's say you want to add an active text link to an existing page you've created. Let's turn the word home into an active text link. To do so, you need to highlight home, click on the Insert Link icon above. If you're linking outside of the site, you'll want to enter the full URL here. For example, http://www.realgeeks.com and hit OK. But let's link to a page within our site. Now, anytime you're linking within the website, all you have to do is add a /, the slug, for example, Kailua, and then a / again. But in this case, I'd like to link the word home to my home page. This is done by entering just a / and then hitting OK. Now, you have a hyperlink that is linking it to the home page. Now, if you want to add an image, you need to decide where you want the image to be, and then click on this little mountain, which will take you to our Insert and Edit Image button. This leads you to the image browser, where you can click the file browser, find your image, choose the little arrow, and it gives you a few options. I want my image to be smaller and to constrain its proportions, so I'm going to enter 250. Then I want to add a 10-pixel border around it on both horizontal and vertical axes. Now I'm going to hit OK. To align the image to the left, you'll want to highlight it and click on the left alignment icon. To link the image, we'll want to do the same thing we did with the text link. So let's highlight the image, select the Insert Link button. Again, if you're linking outside of the site, you'll want to type the full URL here. If you want to link within the site to your homepage, enter a / with no slug. But in this case, let's link our image to the Kailua page, which only requires a / and then the slug, which is the word Kailua, and a / again. Next, we have the option of overriding our landscape image. That will be the big image behind the search on each page. The landscape image is currently on the default selection. Because we have one default landscape image, there are a few options to override it here. You can override the main default image with a pre-selected image from our gallery by selecting this option and then the button labeled Open Gallery. Here, you'll see a number of generic images served to work with most pages you're creating. These are of public domain and free to use. When you find the one you like, you can hit Choose. There is also the option of no image, default, or a custom selected image of your own that you've uploaded. So let's select Custom Image, and in our file browser, we'll select the image we want to use and click on the arrow next to it. We can even override the title. In this case, I'll call it Great Beach. So our next item here is the sidebar and footer option. What really gives our solution a lot of flexibility is that you're able to create as many sidebars and footers in our system and pull in whatever sidebar you'd like for each page. You can even make a different sidebar for each page. Here I've selected my default sidebar, which I've configured to include a list of Hawaiian Islands, popular neighborhoods, useful information, and our home valuation tool. You can watch our sidebar video on our docs page for more info, along with one about our home valuation tool. Again, that's at docs.realgeeks.com. Now, the next thing is property display search options. That's if you want to pull in property listings as some content on the page. Let's title this Our Listings. This will be the heading above the properties. I usually keep the number of properties displayed to 5, but let's select 10 this time. We even have the option to decide where these properties will appear in relation to our content, above or below. I prefer below because I want the user to see the search on the page first, because the goal here is to allow them to search and then capture the lead. So now I'm going to create a search. First, I'll show you how to use the Polygon tool, which allows you to choose from geographic fields available from your MLS to create your own areas. You'll want to select Polygon from the left here, zoom into the region of your choice on the inlaid map, select the tool itself, and pinpoint the selected area you'd like to set the search to. For example, I only want houses on the ocean side of this street. My MLS doesn't have a search option for that encapsulates this. So I'll use the Polygon search to define my own search area. When you're through, you want to create the search and click Yes. But let's back up and create a different type of search using our drop-down window criteria instead. So let's clear the Polygon tool and remove the map. Now you can get really specific here. If I were creating an About page or an Agent page, I could use Office ID or Agent ID. If I were doing a foreclosure page, I could select foreclosures. But I'm just going to come over here and click on City. I'll select the city as Kailua, the property type as homes and condos, the options here are pretty endless, and I can even decide how my search results are sorted. So here I'll select Newest Listings first. Then I'll want to create the search, and it will list how many results with this criteria exist. It will then prompt me to use this search. I'll select Yes, and it'll only show 10 of the newest listings on the page because that's what we're sorting by. As you can see, on the back end, a label shows up that reads Search Changed, Please Save. If we were only doing a quick edit to a pre-established page, we'd click in the bottom right corner here. But because we aren't through setting it up yet, we'll continue, though it's always good to save your work. So now the last section we have is the search form display options. Here you can help take the guesswork out of coming up with the correct search by pre-filling in the quick search with the fields that best describe the page we're making. So first, let's change the title. In my site settings, the default search title of our page is set to Real Estate Search. But in this case, I'm going to override it and call this page Hot Kailua Property Search to better label my search criteria. I can now set the search defaults of the form. Island should be Oahu. Select Kailua as my region, since that's where I want to focus on, and I'll keep the rest open. I'll save the search, and then this will be displayed and automatically done. So now that we've saved this search, we want to save the changes. Now, let's take a look at the page. So here we have our default with search page. The custom landscape image sits at the top with our search form and customized title of Hot Kailua Property Search. The quick search is set to the island of Oahu within the region of Kailua. If we scroll down further, we have our content, with our link to the home page built within the word home, our image that links back to the Kailua area page, our sidebar, which I've customized to include islands, neighborhoods, useful information, and a home valuation widget. And lastly, we have our 10 hot listings set to display the newest properties first, followed by my default footer. So there we have it. Thanks for joining us and learning how to edit and create a content page. Please check out our docs at docs.realgeeks.com to edit and add other page styles, sidebars, navigation, upload images, widgets, and videos, along with all other technical features for your Real Geeks website.